Hey everybody, I just wanted to share a few tips today on setting up conversion tracking with the new Google Analytics 4 and Tag Manager updates. And I'll also show you a way to revert to the old Universal Analytics when setting up a new property. So once you're in Analytics and you go to Admin down here at the bottom, and then you're going to click Create Property. And here you put in your website name and all of that stuff. But this is for creating a Google Analytics 4 property. So if you want to use Universal Analytics so you can follow the old training, click Show Advanced Options. And then here just toggle this on to create a Universal Analytics property. Put in your website, and then you probably want to turn this off if you're only going to be using the Universal Analytics. But I actually do run both just because I'm not quite as familiar with the new Google Analytics 4 yet. So anytime I set it up, I still set up Universal Analytics as well. But you can still run it all through the same Tag Manager container. You just have to set up two Google Analytics insertion variables. And so if you set up this way and only do Universal Analytics, you can follow the training just like in the modules. But today I'm going to be showing how to do it with the new Google Analytics 4 property set up. And so I already have my container set up, and I created a new container in Tag Manager, and so it'll bring you to this screen here, and you're going to copy these codes and take them over to your high level landing page. And so once you're at the overview of your site here, just click Settings, and this is where your head tracking code goes and the body tracking code. And I installed them here over the whole site. I've just found that to work a little bit better than installing them on the individual pages. And so once you have those installed, you can come back to Tag Manager, and you're going to add a tag for your new Google Analytics 4. I already have one, but I'll show you the setup for this here. And so once you create your new Google Analytics property, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this right here. Once the new property is created, it's going to give you this measurement ID for you to copy here. You copy that and come over to Tag Manager, and you're going to put that in right here. And so when you configure this tag, you're going to choose Google Analytics 4 configuration here. So select this, put in your measurement ID here, and then for triggering, you're going to select all pages and name it something like GA4 insertion variable, insertion tag, something like that. And so then you're going to save that and save the trigger, save the tag, and then you're going to submit and publish. And I've already done this. And so once you do that, it's going to take you to the version screen after publishing. So you just click Workspace. And then really the only update with Tag Manager is how you preview your tags. So select Preview. And this is where you connect to your website here to begin previewing if your tags are firing properly. So it's going to connect to your site in a debug mode. And to view your tags, come back to the screen where you just connected and click Continue. And so you should only be seeing this Google Analytics 4 insertion tag at this point if you installed it properly in Tag Manager. And you see, since the site was opened, it was fired one time. Now I'll show you how to set up your call click tag and form submit. It's the exact same as in the training, except you choose Google Analytics 4 event instead of Universal Analytics. So for your call click tags and triggers, you see here the only difference is I chose a GA4 event instead of Universal Analytics here. Everything else is the same. It's call click, and then my triggers. It's click text contains and then the phone number for one of my buttons. And this one, and this is trigger 2. I have another one that just says call now. Yeah, click text contains call now. And so once I save those tags and triggers, you'll then click submit again and then publish. Come back to workspace here. And then you're going to go into preview once more. Now each time you add new tags or triggers, you need to submit and publish. And then you'll have to reopen the preview mode and the debugger version of your website once again now that there's new tags added. So you would just exit out of this, and then click preview here once again. But since I already have my tags installed here, I'll show you how those work. So call now and the phone number. And we come back to the preview mode and we see my call click tag was fired 2 times. So now let me show you how I track my form submissions. I track a page view instead of the submit button. It's just a more concrete way of tracking the form or survey submission because you know they filled it out properly if they made it to that thank you page. So once again, choose Google Analytics 4 event. You're always going to select your GA4 insertion tag on any of these new tags here. I forgot to mention that with the call click tags. You're also going to choose this GA4 insertion tag you set up and then name it however you want. Mine's form submit thank you page, and that's all you need for the tag. For triggers, it's going to be a page path contains, and then it's going to contain the path of your thank you page. So you can hop back over to high level here, open the settings of your thank you page, and copy this path right here. Come back to Tag Manager and plug that in there. And then you're going to save trigger and save the tag. And then I would suggest setting up your call click tag and your form submit tag, and then going to click submit and publish, and then preview it one last time so you can just test both of those at the same time. So let's fill out my form here. It's just a basic one. My thank you page isn't set up yet, but this is still the page that I'm going to be using for this new site. And so we can see here that my form submit thank you page tag was fired 1 time. And so that should be good for Tag Manager. Other than your variables, this is one of the first things you want to do. I apologize, I forgot to mention. So you're going to come to variables here and click configure, and you're just going to check every box here just like you do in the MM training. But other than that, that should be about all you need to do in Tag Manager unless you have other tags you're going to be tracking. And so then we'll come over back to Google Analytics 4. Since you used the GA insertion tag, you won't need to install any codes from Google Analytics. It's connected automatically through your Tag Manager. And so if you come out of admin and just click home, we're going to go to all events. And you can see here that we do not any longer have to import goals. If you set up your GA insertion tag properly, all of your new tags will be here automatically. So you see my call click here, and then my form submit thank you page. These are just some automatic things that Google Analytics 4 tracks for you automatically now. and you'll have the option to select a few of these things when first setting up your GA4 property. And so to start counting these as conversions, you just simply flip the switch here. And so now anytime those tags were fired, just like we saw here, Google Analytics will now count those as a conversion. Now, I was trying to make this video yesterday, and when I came to all events, it showed nothing here. It said something about installing SDK or something like that, and it might take up to 24 hours to see these events. So I came back this morning and all of my automatically tracked events were here, and the new tags I added were also here. So if you don't see these when you first click all events, just give it a day or give it a little time and come back and you should see these here. And so that's really all you have to do in Google Analytics 4. Mainly it's in Tag Manager, so if your tags are firing properly, then just flip this switch here for the ones you want counted as a conversion under all events. And now we're going to test these out in real time. So as you can see, just recently we've had call, click, and form submit thank you page. And this was just a minute ago, but let's try it one more time. Call, phone number, and submit the form one more time. Now let's go back over to Analytics and give it just a moment. And there you go. You can see call click now has 2, and form submit thank you page now has 2. So these are being tracked in real time. I believe you should now be. Okay, so this is what the screen looked like under all events for me yesterday. So you might see this at the beginning too. But just give it a little bit of time and then you'll see this here and can turn your conversions on and then track them in real time here. And now it's time to link Google Analytics 4 to your Google Ads account. So here in Analytics, go to Admin once again. And then down here in the middle column, you're going to go to Google Ads linking. You see one of my accounts is already linked here. But you can just search your Google Ads account number or click link here and choose Google Ads accounts, and it should show most of your accounts here. And you just select the one that it's going to go with and click confirm. And that should be all you have to do from the analytics side. And now over in ads, you're going to go to tools and settings, conversions. And then just click the blue plus sign here in the top left, import. And here you're going to choose Google Analytics 4 properties instead of the Universal Analytics. And you're going to choose web here and click continue. And here it will show you the the conversion events that you just flipped the switch for in Analytics. And so you can select these here and click import and continue. Now, if you're running Google Analytics or Universal Analytics and a Analytics 4 property, you're only going to want to import goals from one or the other so that Google Ads doesn't count conversions twice. So either choose, when you're importing, choose Google Analytics 4 and select them here, or choose Universal Analytics and import your goals just like the MM training shows, but only do one or the other. And then just click import and continue. But I already have mine here from Universal Analytics. And so that should be all you need to do to link up Google Ads and Google Analytics with the new GA4 properties. So I hope this helps, guys. I know that it wasn't exact because I already had my stuff set up from yesterday, but just let me know if you guys need any help setting this stuff up.